So since you guys like my last video so much, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little quick dive into the history of sparkle or glitter bots, which is, it's pretty interesting. And in some ways a little more interesting than metal bots, I won't lie. To me at least, both in the community were seen as these high valuable, these special editions. So I think it'll be fun to look at. Now, just like the metal bots, the big impact was off the grid. Metal bots and sparkle bots are often connected due to, Striker and Pixel's duo. So, yeah. Now, before we get into the exclusives, I think we should start off with the main 3 original pack. Now, yes, there isn't really any official logo thing I could find, so you'll have to do with this, which is actually the wrong version, and there's only 2 of them, but this will do for our purposes here today. So originally 3 glitter bots released, and the first one was the pink, and the second one was the, transparent or crystal, and finally was the purple. Now, they may have actually come in a 3-pack, but I'm unsure about this. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'd also be a little surprised, so I don't know. For the convenience of this video, I'll say that it did happen, but it's very 60-40, and I don't know which direction it's in. I am pretty sure the purple and pink came in a 2-pack, but I don't know for sure, again, maybe with a tripod or something. However, these were mainly put in family packs or single packs, and I'm pretty sure that's where the main money from these guys came from. Now, it's just like literally every Stikbot ever. Can you guess where these guys were originally exclusives to? Say it with me. Toys R Us. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Stikbots were originally meant to be Toys R Us exclusives as a whole. Now, these 2 Stikbots mainly, got released in single packs. I'd say that the crystal one's rarer, but I don't really know. They're kind of 50-50. Like, one month they'll be rarer than the other, and then they'll also be the same. It's very 50-50. But when it comes to the purple glitter Stikbot, it's actually a bit more interesting. Because this was originally a Toys R Us exclusive, and I guess it maybe stayed like that for even longer than the other ones or something, it just became pretty rare. In fact, I'd argue that this is one of the rare Stikbot plastics, the companion to the elusive transparent purple Stikbot. Both of these are rare, but I'd like to talk about the non-glitter for a moment. In my opinion, this is one of the best Stikbot colors. It's perfect. It has like the vaporwave vibe with the blue and the purple. It's really cool. And the face always doesn't show up the best on camera because of the dark purple, but in some shots like this, it looks pretty good. However, compared to the other original Stikbots, similarly to the clear blue one, it didn't get too many re-releases. The original Cyan Stikbot and the Target exclusive Stikbot, which is actually a commonly mistaken name because it wasn't even in the Target exclusive pack. Well, it was, but it wasn't. It was actually with the red exclusive, which was the actual exclusive, which is ironically not the exclusive, but this one also wasn't the exclusive. I've also noticed that the purple one has never really been in a lot of Stikbot animations because the face doesn't appear as well. This Stikbot is so underutilized. In this iconic photo, you can see lines where they were supposed to edit out the Stikbot. They did it for every single one except for the purple Stikbot. In case you can't tell, this really annoys me because this is one of the better Stikbot colors. And it can be actually quite hard to find because in pretty much every single re-release they haven't brought this one back, along with the other colors, but especially this one. This one has been gone for the longest time. While the market is better now, it once took me 6 months to find this Stikbot and I still had to buy it in a lot. Overall, the Stikbot is very hard to find. I think that this is due to the purple plastic being made differently. So imagine if you take that and then add sparkles onto it. Yes. This Stikbot is also quite hard to find. It used to be more common in 2017-2018, but if you didn't get one back then, it can be pretty hard to find. And so pretty much just like with the other purple Stikbot, this guy was never re-released. Now let's talk about the white sparkle Stikbot. There are 3 versions, but as of making this video, I think I'm going to discount the 3rd one because I think it's just the line. Anyway, so this one that you're seeing on screen now is the most iconic one. It just released in all the packs. Yeah, mainly single packs, that's it. It's probably best known as one of the main 3 in that Stikbot channel's Me and the Boys, Rick. The final version is owned by Kids Filming Club, and I'm pretty sure is given to him by Zing, and yeah. The glitter is a lot more overdone on this version compared to the previous one. I do still like it though. It just looks kind of funny, like he just got really dirty. Probably the only other people who own this are former Stikbot employees. If I had a nickel for every rare sparkle Stikbot with brown sparkles, then I'd have 3 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened 3 times. The first one that we can talk about is this one, which was used in this video and was never seen again. So this is the only photo we have, and it's flipped. But I'm sure that on Facebook somewhere there's some photo of this Stikbot on the official Instagram account, just buried deep down in the depths of hell. So maybe, if you want to archive the whole Facebook account like I did. Now, we literally know nothing about this Stikbot except that it had a blue string and looked like the other one. So that's what makes it an exclusive. Now, if I had to guess, just as shown here in Misadventures of Bot Pool, there were some Stikbot colors like the red Stikbot with purple strings, which were sort of made just for the employees or just for specific stuff inside of Zing and Stikbot. So if I had to guess, that's probably what this is, but I really have no clue. Okay, the orange one. This guy I've talked about before, and he may be one of the rarest, if not the rarest Stikbot of all time, because it is a canceled Target exclusive Stikbot, basically. I don't know if this is really that rare, though. I mean, there is a chance that there is really only one left, or even none. But if this really was a canceled Target exclusive, then I would assume they would have to show them to a bunch of different Targets, or like different people at Target, to like show like, hey, this is going to be the exclusive, do you like it, whatever. So it's hard to imagine them only having one figure to show to each one, but I don't know. Another Stikbot is this guy. Oh, sorry, I meant this one. We'll get back to him in a minute. So the person that you're seeing on screen right now, if you ordered the Stikbot, Castle Pack, you would get this one. Unless you ordered from Amazon during the pre-order phase, in which you'd get the other one, which is extremely rare. And so both of these were rare because, they're from the deluxe set, which was like limited, just like the normal set, but this is the deluxe set, so it's more expensive, blah, 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 very limited. Then, on top of this, it was very hard to get. Until 2022, when they released it in an Easter calendar, or like Easter pack, and so you could get like a bunny, like a glow-in-the-dark bunny, or something like that, right? Like there's all these animals, and then you have the Galaxy Blue Stikbot. The Galaxy Blue Stikbot was like one of the hardest things to get, so it's still kind of rare. So now, besides this, there weren't too many like regular Stikbots. There were some prototype mixed colors, but that's kind of it. There were also, of course, like the Galaxy Rabbit, which is like the sparkly rabbit, which was kind of rare. But overall, we're just going to be covering Stikbots for this video. So, besides these one-offs, the only other ones to talk about are really these. I know that some of you guys don't want to hear about this again, but here is, once again, how the new Stikbot color vote impacted stuff. In this vote, there were 2 sparkle Stikbots, but for now I'm going to focus on the light green. From the first photo, it's literally just a light green Stikbot with sparkles. That's it. That's all. And it lost the vote, sadly. Now, in the recent 2024 New Colors vote from October, it was actually given a second chance, and it looks a lot different. This is a lot more like a sort of, like a very ripe lime or something. Like, this is like you'd see this on like a leaf. Like, it's like probably the brightest green you'd see in nature or something. Compared to the original, which was just a Photoshop edit, this one is like, looks like a whole different plastic to me. And this could mean that this is technically a prototype. It has green string. Overall, while it is possible that a lot of the prototypes that were declined from the original one, like sand and red orange, they have prototypes, I feel like this sort of helps confirm that theory. So who knows, maybe there is a red, orange, and sand prototype somewhere in the Zinc factory or something. But there's definitely a green one, I think. Or this is just a really good Photoshop. Now, I'll probably never mention it again, so I'll mention it here. As you can see, if you download the file from the actual Discord, like the photo, it says 2024 first quarter, or quarter 1. So I would assume this is going to be coming out between the first quarter of 2024, so like January to March. And my guess is maybe it could come out in February for the UK or something, and then March for the US, or something kind of like that. Or maybe pre-orders start then. Now, our second last one, sort of. The Solid Black Sparkle. This is another very great one, and it was the second most voted in the poll, so it won and it became a figure. It was put together with an ice blue Stikbot, which we'll get to the irony of in a moment. So here it is, and it's a pretty good looking Stikbot, I won't lie. And yeah, it's good. It has, the sparkles. I like the contrast. The suction cups looks great with the black. It's pretty good. But I don't know if I'd recommend it. With the recent shift in plastic and rubber quality, which we talked about in the Metalbot video, and we'll get to in a moment, this is a major issue I've noticed with newer Stikbots. With newer color schemes and newer sparkles, like basically when they add sparkles to something, it might have this issue, or if they're going to do like a new color, it might have like this thing where it's like they just can't bend. The strings are like either too tight or too loose, or something's wrong. The head's always in sort of a funky position, and usually I can let it slide, but for this I can't. With the Metalbots, the purple and green ones, I could let it slide. It's like the really cool colors, it works. But for this, I can't. Sorry for going on a little bit of a rant there, but I really like this color, don't get me wrong. I will definitely use it. But there's just something about it that is just a bit, it's not the same as the Metalbots, which has just come out, which still have the same issue. This one feels a lot more like it's just harder to move though, and this is just an issue with mine. It may be better for other people's. One thing I can say though is that the solid Stikbots like the Ice Blue that came with this is one of my personal favorites, but it has a lot less of this issue. It's like a lot more like a normal Stikbot. I'm still struggling to pose it mainly because of the wonky suction cups, which is a whole other issue. but it's still like I've noticed that newer colors, like whether it's a newer transparent, like those yellow ones, or a mixed, like the peppermint, whatever you want to call it, the red and white one, those ones are usually pretty good. But it's when they start experimenting with the plastic that it gets worse, sadly. I still want them to experiment, but it's something good to keep in consideration. Alright, now for the final part. This is where it kind of gets interesting. You know how for the metal bots there were like 3 different versions of plastic? Well, for this specific sparkle bot, there's actually 4. I'm going to go oldest to newest, starting off with late 2015, and as you can guess, I'm pretty sure this came out around late 2015. This was given out to Moonshine for the original Off the Grid, however, this had never had a public release. It has a lot more of a solid color, and in my opinion is one of the best looking Stikbots. I mean, how did this not get released? I really like this. I don't know how many exist, but it is a phenomenal color, and I really wish it came out. It was used in Off the Grid up until Season 3, Episode 5, and yeah, it never got released, which is really crazy to me. I'm sure that other colors have prototype versions like this where they're more solid, and I'd love to see those. I love the new, colors and stuff with all that, but there's something about these that, like, just screams, like, early Stikbot, and that's kind of fun. It was also actually used in Stikbot Live as Pink, who sometimes would play with Stikbot, if they needed multiplayer. The only other currently known owner... Well, the only other currently owned owner of this Stikbot... The only other currently owned owner of this... The only other known owner of this Stikbot is Animation Eddie, who has Pink from Stikbot Live. Next up is the 2016 version, which is a little more pinker than the other ones we'll see in the future, and this was just released in action packs and was also used in Off the Grid. But then later that same year in 2016, they released another version, which is a bit more like blood orange. And then finally, with the plastic decline in 2020 and 2019, they changed it once again. And they may have changed it again, but I doubt it for the, new plastic stuff. But yeah, that is all. And also, this pretty much applies to the crystal and purple Stikbots, as well as some other sparkle Stikbots from a while that just kept on getting reproduced. They all went through these sort of weird cycles, except for the prototype, which we don't know for sure, if the other sparkles went through that as well. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to end it off. There's a lot of future hope for these guys. I would love to see more solid, like glitter spots, which I guess we're getting now with the Galaxy one. But it'd be fun to see more. Sort of maybe like a little less transparent, like this pink one. Which I also wanted to mention, it's very hard to tell on camera, but it actually is transparent. And in person, you can see the strings through it, but it's very cloudy, which is something that a lot of other Stikbots don't really do. So yeah. Oh, and one more thing. If you have any other suggestions for like videos I should do, like the evolution of this Stikbot or whatever, then let me know. So, but yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next one. Bye.